And what I want to say is that we are in a situation of how can you be rich but poor? This is the question why I just took the floor to speak, because indeed our continent, Africa, is one of the richest continents in the world, as you know. But unfortunately, it happened to be that Africa is the poorest continent in the world. So how can you be rich but poor? That's why we have come here, because we know that your state and your city, Los Angeles, in California, is very dynamic, and the reason of your dynamism has been described during all these presentations. It means you have, let's say, research, R&D. You have applied what the university discovered at the marketable area to transform that to wealth, not only for your state, for your country, but for the world. And we have come here to take advantage of that opportunity. And you allow me to tell you that Africa, our continent, will be tomorrow what China is today, because we have almost 1 billion people in our continent, and the chance of taking a very profitable ROA in Africa is one of the most huge in the world. So I want to ask you to have a very keen interest in our continent, because we have the potential, we have the resources, and all what we are discovering here can have a very big impact, not only economically, but also, I don't want to use the word humanitarian, but anyway, if you invest in Africa, you will have a return on your investment. For instance, a few years ago, Africa was at the back in matter of telephone. When the new technology has arrived on the market, I mean the cellular, it has boosted the connectivity of Africa. And you just mentioned the personalized medicine, when you just introduce a blood test and they give you the sample of the future, medically speaking, of the person that has done the test. This is something that is pretty new. Imagine that you open a company in Africa where there is, as I said, 1 billion of consumers, and that technology is transferred in Africa. It will help us not to go, as we are waiting for the landline of telephone, we'll make a big jump coming from the lack of medicine opportunity to the 22nd area of technology for Africa in matter of medicine. That's what I want to tell you. And I cannot conclude without speaking about Côte d'Ivoire, my country, because we are in West Africa. We used to be a country of opportunity, where we consider ourselves like a melting pot, because out of the 20 million people of Ivorian, we have almost 30% of the population coming from our neighboring countries, living with us, making their business, living like brothers and sisters. That is the aim of the policy that has always been developed in Cote d'Ivoire. Whenever you invest in Cote d'Ivoire, it is as if you have invested in the whole region. That country has suffered a lot. We have been able to end the crisis. We are in the process of reconstruction of our country. I have come here in order to ask you that Cote d'Ivoire is open. We want to benefit from your technology to help Cote d'Ivoire reconstruct the country and make it for the profit of the whole region. That is the reason why I have taken the floor, but I cannot conclude without thanking you for giving us this opportunity for all of us as diplomats to take advantage of your advance in these areas that you have mentioned. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm going to give Perry a chance to comment and respond. Let me just say to your point about Africa sort of being the new China or the next great area of opportunity. I am with an international investment firm, the Capital Group Companies, and we're one of the largest investors in the developing world. And we literally, one of our international economists was making that point just last week. So I think you very, very well said. But Perry, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I